Time for our morning beat. We have reporter Kirstin Downey here to talk about this National Historic Site on the North Shore. Now, this is a fascinating story, Kirstin. Why don't we just start off with the fact that you heard about some destruction that was going on, so it kind of raised your journalistic hackles, right?
That's right, that's right. Well, this has been an ongoing story for us at Civil Beat. Back in October, we first started to hear some reports about people hacking vegetation with machetes and chainsaws, including some habitat of endangered Hawaiian species. In a 100-acre parcel in Kahuku, known as the Marconi Point. Now, in addition to this being an environmentally sensitive place, it's also the location of one of our national historic landmarks. In fact, there's a complex of buildings in there that was once the world's largest wireless communication center, the largest in the world.
We were at the forefront back in 1910 of wireless communication.
Yes, we were.
Okay, so what did you find with your drone video?
Well, first we'd gone out to look at the environmental issues, and we wrote about that in October. So that meant we had drone pictures at that time, and our photographer had gotten in as close as he could to get pictures. Marcel Honore, another reporter, had come in along the beach to get pictures too, and that's where he'd actually seen people with the chainsaws and the machetes himself. So we were had this on our radar screen. So but the Department of Land and Natural Resources issued an order to stop this. So it would have seemed like a lot of this activity would stop. But in December, we started to hear from historic preservationists that heavy construction equipment was rumbling into the site, and that they believed that something was being done to the landmark site itself.
So worse than the machetes and chainsaws, now we got heavy equipment moving in.
Now we've got bucket excavators. Okay, so we went back in, used drone photography. Our really excellent videographer, Kavika Lopez, got us some great pictures, and actually could see from above how the property owners were using these bucket excavators to pull debris out of the building and throw it into the dumpsters.
Which you don't do at a National Historic Landmark.
No, in fact, this property is under a specific memorandum of agreement where the property owners promised not to do that in exchange for a loan. Now, the properties now are owned by a number of different owners. It's agricultural zoned, so it's very limited in what's supposed to be developed there to begin with. And there's a lot of people denying who actually did it. So it's been kind of hard to determine. But Environment Hawaii has learned that a Las Vegas-based entrepreneur, a tech entrepreneur, Sushil Garg, is the owner of the historic properties. And the previous developer and his attorney, Jeremiah Henderson, say that agreement forbade that kind of activity from occurring unless it was supervised by historic preservationists.
Which it was not, as far as you know.
Right.
Okay.
Now, the developer's attorney, or the property owner's attorney, has acknowledged that they did tear out the iron that was in there.
Okay, so I urge you to go read this article. This is only a fraction of what she has uncovered. It's fascinating from the historical point of view, from what they have found with their drone footage. You can read the full thing, civilbeat.org, or text 66866 to get the newsletter. But such a fascinating story. Kirstin, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
We'll be right back.